I die tomorrow. I hope you hear these words. I ain't here to flip no birds or sip no serve. Hope the future generations can get this urge. Stay woke, youngin', and avenge these nerds.
Nerd is the word.
The Munchkins came at the right time.
Perfect timing. Technical Tuesday. This is your boy Sebastian.
Yo, hey, stop calling Techno Tuesdays, bro. Stop it.
Blackout Tuesdays. This is your boy Sebastian.
Fuck you. It's your boy Law.
It's a baton from across the hall.
Seabass, stop jinxing it. And of course, last but not least,
Thank you. I promise you, yo, I feel like Seabass is just jinxing out here.
yes.
I'm bringing us a good luck charm today. A good luck charm by the name of Jorge Medina.
Hey, George.
Yo, what's going on, bro? It's been too long. It's been too long.
It's been a long time, but I'm glad to be back. Thank you for having me on, guys.
You're a whole engaged man now since we seen you last.
Yes, that happened. That's how long it's been.
Yeah.
I remember because we were supposed to meet up, and then you told me you got engaged, and then you and your fiance went out.
Wow, damn.
So we gave you the pass. We were like, that's a perfectly reason for us not to see you. That makes sense.
Because I was gonna get beat up on the show next week. No, you're right. God, man, it's been a long time. Yeah, so it's been a while. What up? You go
give it a shout out.
He's got a lot of changes. He's got a fiance. He's got a Hall of Fame quarterback. It's a good year.
See, talk about jinxing it. That's it. It's over. It's a wrap. He's gonna get hurt.
Oh man!
God damn it.
Good question for Lord.
Hapless morning show is Tuesday and morning. Wait, what? Oh god! So I was running my test for Twitch because I needed to prove to Verizon that I'm not going crazy and my internet's being fucking ridiculous at the moment.
Yep.
That would drive me crazy.
You just had a whole technical month, man.
Bro, since the beginning of June. And I only realized it after I got back from all my trips. So the whole time I thought it was oh, my computer, all this other stuff. Then I get back and I'm like, oh no, it's just my internet being crazy. Got it. And I've been calling them 2-3 times a week. I have so many tickets with them at this point. They know who I am.
You're on the first name basis.
It might be time to switch. Just saying.
I would switch to Spectrum, but Spectrum's not in my area yet.
Nah, you know who you need to switch to.
They're not going to the Bronx.
I'm not going to Optimum. I can't. Optimum to me right now are like 2 bad exes. I just can't do it. They gave me so much shit when I was with them before. I just rather not.
What about Spectrum? Do you got Spectrum out there?
They don't have it in my area yet.
You won't get.
It's not.
You won't. They don't. They can't. Yeah, they can't service the same areas. It's not a monopoly because you do have the option for optics. However, you can't get the same cable provider in the same area. There's it just won't happen.
That's why Optimum would never be in an Xfinity area.
Yes.
All about the affinity, brother.
There's no competition, which means they can drive the prices up, which means people are stuck. Which I
might
don't
as well
know,
be dial up at this point.
Like a monopoly or duopoly. It's a reason why Google Fiber isn't around, because they said if you don't want to play nice with us, we're not going to do Google Fiber, even though Google Fiber is amazing.
Bro, they said, we can't throttle you because that's technically illegal. And then I'm asking all my IT friends, showing them my numbers. They're going, bro, they're throttling you. What do you mean they can't throttle you? That's exactly what they're doing.
Get that throttling.
What agent lied to you?
They all lie.
At this point, so many.
I don't know who tells you that they don't throttle. They definitely do.
Every internet company throttles.
So the difference with Fios and Optimum is that they throttle it at the baseline, not to your house, as opposed to the actual building. It's just depending on where the throttling happens.
Oh, they're throttling it because what's going to my router is great speeds. What's coming to me is ass.
Are you all wireless or are you hardwired?
I am hardwired all the time.
Okay.
There's something there. But I can tell you right now, I dealing with Verizon text. They don't find shit. Wait, here we go. No, you can't use those lines. Our provider, other provider, Lynn, sorry.
Sucks to be you.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not been a
tell me
fun
how
few
much
weeks.
that line is not working. If you remember the South Park episode when they were calling, what was it, Time Warner?
Yep. And then you call and be like, "Hey, I want to renew." Okay, it's gonna be $20 more. For the same service.
Like, no, it's gonna be slower, sir.
Sure.
Hey, listen,
I have no idea what you guys are talking about, but okay.
You renew.
I worked in cable retention for a year. Val worked in retention a lot longer than I did, and I can tell you right now, the people were mad. I didn't want to deal with you. Anyway,
I loved retention. Screw that. People loved me. I was so nice.
For like a hot second, I worked door to door trying to change people to go from Optimum to Verizon. Like I literally was selling Verizon.
Oh, you were that dude.
For like a hot 2 minutes.
Yo, I remember I had one of those dudes, and he was like, "Yo, in the Bronx when I was literally across the hall, and the guy from Files would come and be like, yeah, I wanna get you Files in here," and I said, "All right, well, can you get me 500 up, 500 down, HBO for $100?" And he looked at me deadpan. He's like, "You got a good deal." It's like, I can't do that. Right. Well, until you can do that, don't come back to my fucking house.
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough. It was a tough time.
I just love it when they came to the door and he was like, "Yeah, let me see your cable bill." And I showed him the cable bill. The Verizon guy's trying to sign you up, and it's like they saw it was the employee's account. Like, "Nah, I can't beat that." Employee's account, fucker. I just let them. I was just standing there, let them give their whole spiel and everything. And I'm like, "So there, let me see."
Wow, why were you wasting their time?
Yeah, wasting my time. You don't ring up my door on a Sunday morning.
Damn, not fun.
But you could just simply tell them no.
About Sunday, you disturbing my sleep.
Because sometimes when you tell someone no, they think they try then to go into their book of tactics.
No, when first of all, you're a salesperson. You know, there's no book of tactics. You're not about to sell me, bro.
You know how hard it was.
What? Nah. Just don't waste your time.
Wearing hot ass.
No, I appreciate you stopping by. Enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you wish you the best of luck. Okay? Because the grind is real.
It was real. It was real sad.
I think he would, because Seabass would have fun with them.
Oh yeah, I do have a story with that one too. They stopped coming to my door. They recognized it.
Boy.
This was in Brooklyn. Listen, you ring my doorbell on a Sunday morning.
Listen, when you bring the Watchtower into this conversation, okay?
Listen. You trying to come in? I'm gonna bring the pain. That's
the magazine
what it is.
is called the Watchtower. It's called the Watchtower.
It is. It's a little small pamphlet. It's like a little printed thing.
Oh, I love those because they always come with Spanish, and I'm like, no speak a Spanish. Bye.
Evil.
Y'all are ridiculous.
It's funny.
Wow.
Oh man. So George, so we're gonna skip announcements because you guys already know it. You're tired of hearing me say it, you're tired of hearing us say it, but you know the announcements already. If you don't know the announcements, you can follow all the descriptions and the links right there.
If you don't know the announcements, watch our other
episodes. There you go.
I mean,
I will add this. I was on the 4-Letter Nerd last week. We had a fun episode. We talked about campy movies, and one of my picks was up there, which was Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh my God, I remember that. And the cotton candy thingies.
Yep.
Wow, that was so bad.
Yeah. There's some bad movies we were talking about last week. It was fun. Hugo was in the comics too. Thanks again, Hugo. There we go. Hugo right there. No, man, I love hearing Tone speed running announcements. You want Tone to speed run the announcements?
Oh yeah. I think Tone should be the new announcement person.
No, it can't be a thing that's
like the
micro every time.
Tone is like the Hispanic micro machine man. There we go. But no, I want to actually skip announcements because I actually want to give George the floor because George, you've been busy with Russ again lately.
Yeah, he had a resurgence. So Russ 5377 is a comic that I created a long time ago, 99. Man, that's a long time. And I recently re-released the copy of the book digitally through I met Paul Hayden from ASAP Imagination, and he has a platform called the Anyone World. And the Anyone World basically helps publish or promote other indie creators.
Okay.
And so they have a large just library of like independent comics on there that you can download. And so I linked up with him and he said, George, if you want to bring Russ over here, bring it. So I did. I brought Russ over there. This is issue number 1. I'll let you guys check it out. And issue number 2 actually releases tomorrow on the platform. So it'll go live tomorrow. And what I'm doing is I'm going to, obviously doing the whole promotion thing, going on podcast. So anybody who downloads the book, watching this show, whatever, if you type in at the checkout, you put in promo code podcast, you'll get 15% off of the download. So
that's awesome.
the price of the download.
Good stuff.
So if anybody's watching the show, if you guys want to go check out anyoneworld.com or just go to my website, getyourmeds.com, and go to Russ5377, hit shop or whatever at checkout. Just put in podcast, all capital letters, one word, podcast, and you'll get a discount. So yeah, man, I've been doing that. I got that going on. Obviously still working on the Adventures of Wonder Duck, and then I'm also writing a book for Paul. It's called Dead of Night. Night, that's in Knight in Shining Armor. Okay. And so I've been doing that. That's coming out soon. I'm having fun doing that, and doing the lettering thing. So yeah, I've been busy, bro. I've been busy.
Apparently,
you've been very busy, man. You're working with Phil Russer, guy behind Tragedy, with helping with lettering some stuff for him.
Right.
Tragedy again, another great comic that's out there. And you've just been making rounds with just everything. You guys got the podcast. Yeah. You got your own you got something coming out later in the year as well. So you've been a busy dude behind the scenes too. So
dude, it's been quite.
What's going on with the Craze and the Crazies?
Yeah. Oh man, dude, we gotta. All right. So every time, Sam's got a character called. You guys know there's in my toilet, little character called Duty. And every time Duty hits or comes back, every other project gets put on the side. So the Crazies are unfortunately on the side right now. But, we'll try to bring them back. We'll try to bring them back at some point.
You gotta do a crossover called Crazy Duty.
Yeah, Crazy Duty. Yeah, that'll be interesting. But it's been good, man. 2023 has been busy. I'm waiting for for football to start. Thanks a lot, Tone. Getting ready for that. But in October, like you mentioned, Seabass, I have my own channel that I'm gonna be promoting, and I'll have stuff on there. I definitely want to have you guys, promoting your stuff on there. Whatever you guys are doing, come on over and just hang out. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing that, and just creating, man. Just staying busy. It's I try to stay motivated, and doing this kind of stuff kind of keeps me motivated. You know what I mean? Because we can lose that sometimes. We can get we can go into a dark place sometimes as creators. You know what I mean? When we don't see the success or whatever, we can easily just go into a shell and stop. But
I mean, big shout out to you, because We Suck at Comics, which is also a link. You're also, you are featured in this book because you did the lettering for my stuff. So big shout out and thank you to you as well and all that. Because again, you've been a busy dude. You've been putting it all together. You've been doing lettering. You've been promoting. You've been helping other people promote. So it's awesome to see. And especially when I first met you, learning about Russ, saw you at that New York City Comic Con that same year, I believe, after Inbeon and all that. And you're just promoting the hell out of it for Russ to come this far now on digital platforms. Again, kudos to you, brother.
Yeah. It's funny, man, that whole digital thing. I don't know if you guys buy digital comics or read digital comics, but it's an interesting, I don't know. I mean, there are people who they want the book. You know what I mean? They want to read the book. There are people who don't mind kind of just reading through. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I kind of go I'm running out of space for comics, so I go digital.
That's one of my things. Yeah, that's one of my things now. And then my nephew.
I will say I read less digital though. I used to read more with paper. It's weird because when I have it in front of me, I'm diving in, I'll stick to it, and then I'm like my next book. So every time I went to the comic store, I would get several books at the same time, and it was like my Comic Wednesdays. So then I would go, when I switched to digital, I'd get to when I get to it. And then pretty soon my titles became so backed up, I don't even know where to start, and I've lost it.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of a mix of both. But first, before I get into that, one of my favorite things is phone calls with George, where we just shoot the shit. Yeah, Joe, phone calls with George is awesome. I recommend it
shit is fun
for everybody because it's fun talking to George. We went, dude. We went 2 hours yesterday. I didn't even realize it. Yeah, we went almost 2 hours.
Got no lies, bro.
About stuff.
Like fucking, we like getting to know each other. We dating now, bro? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? 2 hours. I'm like, you go to sleep. You go to sleep. Good night.
Hey.
You're cuffed up now. You got to get the side action.
Let me find out. Fucking Seabass is my side piece. Get out of here.
I'm an expensive date, bro. Don't, you know.
No, my nephew put me onto digital stuff, and he was like, I'll read the digital, and then if I like the digital, I'll end up just buying the comic so I can have it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I'll do like the Compodium. So like, I eventually want to get the Compodiums for Invincible.
Oh, right.
Because like I love Invincible, right?
That's a good read, bro. That was.
I'm thinking about getting that for Sandman.
Oh, man. But see, so Sandman is interesting because I know you're a big fan of Sandman, but like they keep coming out with different special edition releases.
They have, oh my god!
So it's like,
did I tell you that my boss got me? She was like, "Hey, you like Sandman? Like, let me get you the like one of my old boyfriends had like the Appendium." I was like, "Oh shit, that's awesome!" Because I was looking at the Appendium, and there was the Appendium and the Compendium, right? The Compendium is like an all black set, thick ass books, whatever the case is. The Appendiums are white back, whatever. Either way, she gives me the book, and it's the second volume of the Appendium, and I'm like, guess I'm committed to the Appendium now because I can't have just the second volume and not the rest of them.
That's how they get
And then I just got from my other boss like a bunch of like James Tynion comics and Sandman run stuff, and they're signed. That she was like, I was just clearing out stuff for my husband, and one of the cases were like, you haven't been in the office in weeks, and I was like, huh? And she was like, here, I've been having this for like a while. And she just handed me a bunch of comics, which I'm fucking excited about.
Yeah. To answer your question,
I read on my iPad.
I gotta read on this thing. It's about the
most
size.
Of my phone, because my phone is massive.
Yeah, it's my phone. I do everything on. I'll do the Marvel one. I do Comixology, and then Tekayomi for manga on my phone.
Yeah.
Also, big shout out to was it the Global Comics, which again we had Chris on the show. They were actually featured in Forbes. How big Global Comics has come. Forbes Global
Comics has they just got investment from a VC fund a couple days ago. I just saw it on LinkedIn, and
holy shit,
they just got an investment, which is fantastic.
So for those who were keeping track, we had Chris, who was one of the heads of Global Comics, one of the founders. And yeah, it blew up. With that, it became a big haven for indie comics. You had Source Point Press on there now. It's a great platform, digital platform for people to read on. Again, so like Webtoons, Global Comics, those are great platforms to definitely get your digital going, especially if you want to find a lot of indie digital comics. Now, for me, it's the laptop. For me, it's the iPhone and the tablet. That's how I read some of my digital. But again, I still also get print. So that's some stuff.
I love print, bro. I love print. Like I'm running out of room. So like even when I go like on crowdfunding campaigns and stuff like that, like I want to buy the physical stuff, but like it's just I just don't have any room for it. So I go digital. I go digital on a lot of that stuff. And if I see them at a show or something like that, I'll pick up a book, have it signed or whatever. But because a lot of the times too, that shit costs money. Like not just printing it, but shipping it costs money. So a digital it costs them a lot less. So I go for the digital sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what helps a lot of indie creators when you can do a great mix of digital and print, because it does cost a lot to print these books, and it's like when you look at it, like when a book is starting to cost you, one book is starting to cost you to print it at $10. It's a lot. It's a lot, and then you got to pay for the shipping. So it's like you really make nothing off the books. Like I love this book, this Catch the Crazies book right here. I got Wonder Duck Anthology printed up from here. So again, I love all the print stuff. I love grabbing a lot of indie print books because it's just I know how much it does. We all know how much it costs us. It costs a lot of money, but we could deep dive into comics. let's deep dive into something that is based off the comics. We have our
That was
beautiful,
a
beautiful.
decent
That was good. That
transition.
was good. That was
It
good.
would be
Yeah.
true if they actually based Secret Invasion off the comics. But
Oh.
I see where you're going with it, and I'm gonna let you have this one. I'm gonna let you still have this one.
Did
It's
you
just
let him, or
because-
did you have to say something?
But we were reading all that stuff, and they were saying like how don't read the comics, and it makes sense because it's so different from.
Mhm.
It's inspired.
I mean, to be fair, Civil War was different from the
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's
it
what I
had
had
to
to
be.
tell one of my friends. Like, they're like, "Oh, this has nothing." I'm like, "Why do you expect it to be like the comics? When have they done anything in MCU like the comics, other than small parts? Infinity War had nothing to do like the comics.
Right.
Civil War had nothing to do with it. Like even Ultron's original story, nothing
my
of any
God,
of
yeah.
them.
It's just inspired by the comics.
Right, basically.
And the thing is that what I like about it, and just thinking about it, because again, inside this conversations with multiple people, it just makes it more fun because if they really follow everything to the T of the comics, you can't really follow everything to the T, and it just gives that a little bit of extra of that creative freedom, but at the same time, they're still showing that respect for the characters, and we're getting a lot of that with Secret Invasion, which is giving a lot of that spy vibes. Captain America had a shield like in the comics.
Right, Hugo. That's the
That was
You
it.
let them know.
That's it. That's it.
Which, if everybody remembers comic book history, Rob Liefeld, remember, and big shout out to Rob Liefeld because he is. They had to put a gag order on him to not reveal anything from Deadpool 2 because he's super excited.
No.
But I remember he created Fight in America, and then it was just he got sued by Marvel. Like he can't throw his shield. He looked too much like Captain America when he designed that character.
Did you see the guy who built his chest to look like a Rob Liefeld character? And they were like, see, his things are not, crazy, like unproportional, like crazy, whatever. They're possible. And it was like, bro, what? Like, why would you want to look like a Rob Liefeld, like 90s character? He was like, listen, man, I'm just trying to prove that it's possible. It's like
the biggest chest and the tiniest legs.
Bro, bonkers.
Yeah, someone did a special on how Rob Liefeld's art style had changed, and then that started to develop. Because they go, if you look at all his older art when he first broke in the scene, he was actually drawing feet proportions and everything. He got into this whole stylization to try to make these scenes dynamic, which again made him one of the popular artists at the time. Him, Todd McFarlane, because their style was just out there, and he was giving these beautiful pages and everything. The problem started when he started to do his own thing and doing like sideway pages and all that. And Marvel's like, nah, you can't do that, bro. And he was like, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do. And then that's when his problems started with Marvel. And then he was like Liefeld and him and a bunch of artists went to go form Image. I mean, to this day, guy's still trying and he's just loving it. Yeah, man. I mean, Secret Invasion, we are up. We're on episode. Go ahead.
Seabass, I just have to say you are a well full of useless information. Great job. I did not need to know any of that, but it was interesting enough.
Unneeded education.
Something like it.
So let's lead off with this episode. I want to get everybody's feelings on episode 4. We'll start with you, V.
So that is, I didn't watch 5, so I'm doing full disclosure. I'm okay with the spoilers, whatever. But 4 was very good. I was a little bit confused because initially when I saw it, I'm thinking Nick Fury knew his wife was a Skrull, right? And then when I saw that episode, I'm like, did he know that she was a Skrull? And then I had to watch it again to be like, okay, he knew she was a Skrull. And then because there was the line of questioning on why is that coming up now when they sat in front of each other and they pulled the gun on each other.
Good point.
It was a very odd point to bring up. Oh, that's that conversation. That is something that you guys never spoke about before. Why do you not see her in her Skrull form? And so things of that nature. So it made me question that. But it took me a while to process it, and I had to go back to rewatch certain things. And I'm like, okay, no, he definitely knew, unless I'm wrong. But that was a good thing. And I think, of course,
I think he knew from the diner because when they spoke and she goes, we're not in the same I don't work for you directly or something like that. So it's not a conflict of interest.
Right, no, when I went back and watched, there's an episode with her phone thing where he asked her if she's seen Gravik or if he's heard from her. And that's what reminded me. I was like, oh, okay, so he definitely knew because
she's the one who introduced Gravik to him.
Yeah, I know. I know that. Like I was thinking he knew until they sat across from each other and had that conversation, which made me second guess it and have to go back.
You know what? That's a good point, though. Like that the fact that they're having that conversation now, 30 years after. You know what I mean? Like you really didn't know why she took her form. Like that wasn't like a story you heard before, or was he just kind of saying that to like, I don't know, rekindle what they used to have? Like, you know what I mean? Is it one of those conversations that you have with like your significant other? Just tell me about that story once again, because I want to hear it again before I shoot you in the face. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was one of those things, right? I don't know. It was that's a good point.
Yeah, I was confused about it at first because it's like,
oh, you mean when he asked about how she took her face?
Yeah.
I don't know. It felt like maybe I just think maybe he didn't know if there was like a main reason. Like even with Talos, like Talos took his boss's face, and like we don't know, and like maybe he just took it as like you just took this form to take this form. I guess he
did you take it to get close to me? Like, he essentially, like, I think it's one of those, like, before we both shoot each other in the face, what's the deal? Like you never told me why you took her face of all the faces you could have taken, kind of deal. So it's not so much like I didn't know. It was like
never felt to ask.
You never. Yeah.
There was a lot of, I mean, if you think about it, there was a lot of stuff that they probably never sat down to talk about. Because again, in that spy world, and also to be in that spy world, this was, if you really think about it, this was Nick Fury's haven away from that spy world. Because when he got home, that's when he put on his ring, and he was hiding because he would talk about.
Saw everything melt away. Like he, like literally, she looked at him and was like, "Put that ring on. You leave all that shit out the door." Also, and it was such a like dope way to humanize Nick again, because we know Nick is human, but because he deals with what he deals with and he's been doing what he's been doing, it's nice to see that side of him, and it makes it more relatable for us.
Yeah. I mean, I've been loving the show so far. I've been loving where everything's going. In this episode, I believe, what was it? We got the death of Talos.
Unfortunately,
yes, we did.
It was like he was a G.
Can we talk about before we even get to Talos and the death of Talos? Let's go back to like we knew when Rhodey was on the phone, and then he saving that down. Yo, nah, because we have to skip
that. Talos is at the end.
We can't skip to Talos and like skip on Rhodey. We get Rhodey is whoever she is or whatever Skrull version she is, Rava, who apparently was a completely different person in the comics. Granted, now you have that conversation with him and Nick, where Nick knows that they're like, oh yeah, have this drink with me. You better not waste this hooch, whatever the case is. And I'm like, yo,
$5,000 bottle.
And that's legit. I know because I looked it up. I looked up some Pappy.
Yo, when I say like, yo, Nick was ready to just go.
No,
I need to know if you're with me or you're against me, because I will put a bullet in your ass. Like that's all he was doing. He was literally going, all right, I DT that dude from top. It was like, really impressive, bro. Yo, gotta admit, there was some great lines in like the last two episodes. So we have that in exchange, and we have the exchange with
more like, hold on, who you think you fucking with? And pulled out the video with Maria Hill and how the setup, and you're like, he's like, you ain't gonna come in here, threaten me, and you're gonna leave this bottle. That was the first time I seen Nick Fury get sunned. Like,
yo, for real.
Like I was like, damn, and then it's coming from Rhodey.
Yo,
so that's how I knew it wasn't. That's even more solidification. It's not Rhodey.
Right.
So because I wouldn't put it past Rhodey to like stand up for himself and like be like, yo, like I'm an authoritative figure. You gotta respect my boundaries, whatever the case is. But that shit was so fucking out of pocket. I was like, yo, this gotta be a goddamn scroll. Because ain't no way he didn't fucking talk to Tony like that. And he had all the authority to talk to Tony like that.
So here's the $1 million question, because Kevin Feige's playing around with this. He was like, Scrody.
Scrody.
Okay. Brody. Yes, I just combined
Scrody. I'm here for it.
That makes sense.
Hashtag that shit.
Sounds way too much like Scrotum.
He's been a scroll this for a while now. Right. He was saying he play around with it. Let's play this game. When do you guys think that Rhodey became a scroll? And we'll start with you, George, and then I want to go Tone, Law, and Val.
See, I mean, it would make sense that he would be the scroll, like in Iron Man 2, right? When he took over the role. That would make sense, right? That's when he became
all the actors see.
Right.
All the characters see is Terrence Howard.
All
they see is Doc.
You see the skill, right? Like,
oh my god!
But I don't know. I was actually watching Iron Man 2 just to see if he played the part in any way, or if he came off suspicious.
What if we get him like we finally get Rhodey, and they're like, Rhodey, why do you look so different? And then he's like, well, something happened in the blip or whatever the case is, and this is why he turned this way. So he's not only a new version of him because he's a scroll, but he's a new version of him because he's a variant.
Oh wow.
Man, he's doing the Geralt.
Damn.
You know?
Oh god, we're not gonna talk about that. Oh no, we'll wait for that for I'm mad about that. Jeez. Oh man, yeah.
But George, you brought up a good point. Listen.
So I'm thinking,
we see Terrence Howard over sudden one of those pods.
Iron Man 2, right? Iron Man 2. Boom. He's a scroll. I don't know when
early
you guys
in.
think.
That early.
Ooh, I thought I was last. Who else is next?
Seabass, you gotta give yours first.
Oh man, George took my answer, man. I was gonna be like, yeah, you're gonna see Terrence Howard in one of the pods. That's what's gonna happen.
That'd be funny.
I still think the one of the easiest ways that it could have happened, because you gotta think timing wise. When would have been the most opportune time to take Rhodey and switch Rhodey?
I think during the time
Civil
of the
War
5-year gap of the blip.
After Civil War.
I think Civil
during
War.
the blip.
After he got shot down and broke his leg.
Yeah, because he breaks his legs. He's in the hospital. It's probably when you take over, or could have been just before Endgame during the blip, because he's there with them, fighting alongside. Like I believe he flew in with Nebula at some point, right? And so I'm thinking sometime between Infinity War or right after Endgame, when everybody comes back. For me, I think it happened around then.
All right.
No.
Let me ask you a question. Going back to that scene where she explains to him like whose body she took. So what happened to that host? Did she die?
She died, and she
died. She died of a terminal illness. She knew she was gonna die, and she basically said like,
live her life.
Live her life, but like give her a happy life, and whatever the case is.
So now they did have a conversation about her parents, and obviously Nick has met this variant's parents, right? Because they had a conversation about how they met. So do the parents now, like they buried their daughter, but now there's somebody else walking around?
They didn't bury their daughter.
No, they didn't bury her.
She buried her in secret.
Because she got her cremated.
So they think that that's still her. They think she's still alive.
And that was one of her. That was one of her wishes.
And I think her parents are passed now, because she even mentions like, I did that.
Yeah,
I was the dutiful daughter. I did that. So it's implied that those parents have passed, and now she can be herself. But no, like she spoke, they met, she cremated her, and she spat her ashes.
Right.
Yeah. Hugo brought that point. Everybody apparently was looking for Pappy.
Yes, and I learned a lot about Pappy and how.
Now I want to look up this fucking Pappy.
Yeah,
it's $5,000 on the second market. The MSRP is not $5,000. MSRP for like, it's just they only make so many a year. and then you have to go into a raffle at specific liquor stores.
So this is the family reserve.
Yeah. But like secondhand market is when it jumps up in price. MSRP is like 100 to like 300 depending on the age. There's a 25, a 20, and an 18 or something like that.
So from the website, the 13-year-old is $120 at MSRP. I don't know what MSRP means.
Regular price.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Like their price. So like it's their retail price. So like if you
and then
the lottery, you can buy it at MSRP, and then you can either drink it.
Oh wait, you can't just buy it from the website?
No. No.
Bro,
they make it, and then they put it in raffles, and you can look up Pappy raffle in your state. And specific liquor stores have raffles where you sign up, and it's a lottery. Oh fuck! I didn't play the Mega Millions today.
Oh shit! Is that today? I'm about to buy a ticket,
bro.
I got the app.
Pocket.
I got the app. Word.
No, but I haven't verified the original Persona yet. No, so
the 12-year reserve is 15 grand
on the secondhand market.
What the yo? That 16-year-old one, 20 grand. What the fuck is this, yo? I just want to sip now. just one sip. I'll be all right.
Well, both Sam and Don got to sip that bottle.
What the fuck?
It was laced though. It was laced.
But I think what's up episode 2, we got Gravik and his daughter. They were having a conversation because I'm not Gravik, sorry. Talos and his daughter. They were having a conversation.
Gravik and his daughter.
Yo, so they were sitting. So that bench where they were sitting, was that the bench that Captain America sat at the end of Infinity War?
Nah.
If you notice the inscription on it, it says Carter, and it has her like when she was born to when she was died. Like if you watch it, because I watched it today, and I was like, wait, there's an inscription on that shit. And if you look at it, it says Carter.
No shit.
I was wondering if that was like a bench where he sat down. Remember at the very end of the.
Also, too, don't forget she was British, and they are over there in like England and everything.
Right?
So
they probably just honored her with that.
Yeah, I don't think it's the same bench because that one was. I think they were in the States.
That's in England, right?
Yeah, they were in the States, and they were at the compound.
Yeah, and that's probably a beautiful nod to Peggy.
Yeah,
to Peggy Carter.
But as far as like that plan that Talos had, were you guys okay with that plan? Like
there's a few holes there. There's a few holes there. You know, we're aliens, and the president's just gonna give us some amnesty.
Right.
Please help me, sir.
Different place. The one at the end game was in Stark's place.
And
then speaking of Poppy Van Winkle, Fury told Rhodey in his face about the liquid location tracker. That just shows the balls that Fury has, and like I'm not giving any shits. So Fury had a plan, and he used Pappy to get him in that back door.
Listen, I know him and Talos had that conversation where Talos was like, "You would be nothing without me," and respect for Talos, put respect on that boy's name because goddamn, he's right. Wow. However, the balls and audacity of fucking Nick Fury to be like, yeah, I can just fucking put a tracker in there. And I did?
Right.
Bro.
Right.
Bro.
And maybe that's why he was so willing to walk out of there. You know, you're saying Vmac that he was like, he sunned him. He was like, yeah, go ahead, take the bottle, bro. Like,
yo, Fury is 100%. Fury is 100,000% that dude.
He plays chess, bro. He plays chess.
Absolutely.
He just got sunned.
All these people are playing fucking checkers.
Listen. Fury's out here playing 3D chess. Let's be real. He's playing third-dimensional chess where everyone's trying to play checkers. Because, like, there's no way for someone to, like, even granted, like Talos and everyone else feeding him information, there has to be a point where he is just really fucking good at his job and knows what he's doing. The connections that he's made, the moves that he's made, the decisions he has to make, the information that he has to collect and then move and act on. See, like you gotta give him his credit, man.
And I think that's what I like about this show, because they started the show off like he was this weak, broken man, right? And as the show has continued, you've realized that all we're getting is just almost like the backstory of Nick Fury and what they actually made him human a little bit. But he's still that dude. Like, even though we've seen that side of him, he's still that guy. You know what I mean? Like, and so I'm that's why I'm liking the show. Because at first I was like, damn, really? We're gonna get this version of Nick? Come on, man, don't do that to Nick. But nah, they've really been able to, for me, I've enjoyed it. I know people don't like it. Some people are like, what the fuck? It's different from the comic.
I think you needed to humanize him though.
Yeah, right.
Because up until this point, like, so for this show to work, where we're having, that sense of the Kree coming in, and like they're invading, and like we're trying to get this whole divide and trying to like garner feelings towards everybody. To have Nick still be Nick that we know him as, and not humanize him, we would have been polarized and felt like Nick is just a douche this entire time.
Yeah. Also, too, if you really think about it, too, Nick in a lot of the MCU projects has kind of been the secondary character, right behind the Avengers, right behind Captain Marvel. He wasn't really the big character in the mix. The show, it had to really kind of ground his character and give you more about him. Like you're seeing him.
He's more like Charlie. He's essentially the man in the box, like the man in the speaker room, the guy behind the curtain, that guy. So it's not necessarily like he's not a main character. It's that we don't get to see a lot of the implications that he has because of what he's doing in the background. Like we won't see until like 2 episodes down. Yeah,
he's a strong player, and definitely a Winter Soldier. I don't think that I wouldn't say he's a secondary character.
Well, because at this point we've only really seen him tactical. It was only in Captain Marvel we kind of saw a different version, but this is more of a humanized version of Nick because we're seeing him go through a lot of things. We're now seeing him deal with like the effects of the blip. You could kind of see that there's this drawn out failure that it's like, he was supposed to be protecting the world and all that, and then the blip happened. He's probably suffered from some PTSD with having to deal with the fact that he was out. The other thing too is that this responsibility that he does feel for the Skrulls, even though the conversations between him and Talos, when you see the flashback scenes, he really wanted to help them, and he still does to this day. Like, he has a soft spot for him, and even Gravik knew that. Which you get that later on in the episodes with how he was trying to use the Skrulls or anything that Nick cares about to draw out Nick. Which again, these are characters.
I'm gonna piggyback off of that because I keep seeing, and it kind of makes sense. So Kobe Smulders is credited in every episode of this goddamn show.
Yeah,
every episode.
I noticed that.
And I'm like, there's no way she's credited, and she fucking really died. And for someone, George, for Nick to fear when I shaved, that show he was going to work. Absolutely.
Yeah. But back to Maria Hill.
So I think, because someone pointed out, they were like, "Yo, Nick is the type of person who we've seen die multiple times just for him to fake his own death and be like, haha, bitches, I'm still alive. I'm in the game."
Do the duplicate freaking body.
That's all Winter Soldier was. Yeah. So I think that he would go so far as to go, "Yo, Maria, if you die, I got you." And like, he could bring Coulson back and like, "I got you." Fucking lie to her mother's face, bury that woman, and then we'll see her in the last episode.
Well, that's the whole thing too. Is like they did it in, I believe, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the show, which again, it's not Marvel TV series.
Of course, but they still showed that like they brought Coulson back, no?
They introduced the concept of LMDs, life model decoys, which was used in the comics, which was also properly used by Nick. So like they thought Nick died, but it was a life model decoy, which was kind of like a droid that went in Nick's place. And would get killed off. It was kind of like, it was weird to explain it. It was again none of those funky Marvel concepts at the time to try to write off a character's death to retcon it. So again, it's like a concept that is out there where they can it's it's a life model decoy. Woohoo! Just like they use the multiverse.
She got gut shot, right?
Yeah,
she got shot. Yeah,
she got gut shot. He made it to her in time where she may not have bled out. Let's say, right? I know he has the skills and technology to have not only stopped that bleeding, but to at least like kept her where she was, like alive and stable, long enough for Gravik to like go do his thing and be like, oh shit, like all this other shit, right? And then by the time they go and check on her body, she's dead, she's whatever. Switch the bodies out at some point later. Like at least in my heart of hearts, I'm hoping that's the case.
Yeah.
Because on the one side, if it doesn't happen, like, oh shit, that's fucking whack. But I also think that fucking Maria is such a good, vital character to Nick that, like, to get rid of her would be fucking tragic.
So I want to get rid of her the way they did.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
So to your point, Law. So they do credit her at the end of every episode, but it's every time they show her on that TV screen that they credit her because of that.
She's in. Hold on.
But and this is gonna spoil it a little bit for Vmac.
Hugo says the same statement.
Clips of footage of her. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
it says 4 episodes for
her whenever because they're showing her on the screen. But I do agree with you though, Law, and I do agree with you. I think that and Vmac, like in episode 5, at the very end of the episode, spoiler alert.
Okay.
He makes a phone call. And he says, "Let's do this" or whatever. Basically, he calls somebody. He says, "Let's put an end to this." And he walks off. Like he does the Rambo shit. He puts on his eye patch. And
he got his duster back.
Yeah, he gets his duster back. He does all that shit, real badass. And then he's like, all right, let's get this done. And who does he make that phone call to? And to your point, Law, I also think it's to Maria Hill. Like
who else would he be making that? Who would he make that phone call to? Because he doesn't want to get supers involved.
Right.
And he's like, yo, like
his actions.
Or what if it's to the real roadie? He knows he's been a squad.
But that would have.
The real roadies. The real roadie would be one of those containment cubes.
Yeah. Right. And who was in those containment cubes? The daughter, House's daughter, right?
Gaia.
Would she have gotten him out?
Would she have gotten him out?
I don't think she would have gotten him out in time because we see that she survived the gunshot wound because she injected herself with extremis.
She had time to do all that shit too.
Yeah,
and also to do a super scroll.
She also all that time she didn't have time to get him out. And now we're gonna see because who else are they gonna? They can't bring another superhero. They can't bring Valver. They can't bring Captain Marvel back.
And I think there's a reason they hook him up with those machines.
Would they bring
memories and everything?
You got 2 other options. Would they bring in Val, or would they bring in this guy, fucking Martin Short's character, fucking who we saw Martin Freeman.
Yeah, we don't know where he's at too, or when he's been replaced, or if
he's in Wakanda.
He's in Wakanda.
But what if
in Wakanda?
But he's still one of the people that Nick would trust to be like, yo, like I need you off the bench.
I'm just thinking budget wise, who can they afford to bring back? Is what I'm thinking.
It makes sense.
Maria Hill.
These shows though, they don't do a lot of big surprise. I would say the biggest surprise we got from all of the Marvel shows was us getting He Who Remains. That was the biggest surprise we ever got because every other thing was. We were getting people who we saw in the trailers.
We got fake Quicksilver.
We knew.
I was gonna say
that.
No, and Miss Marvel.
No, we knew D'Onofrio was coming.
Yeah. But also too, in Miss Marvel, we got the mutant drop when they played that little snippet about.
No, but I'm talking about a casting. I'm talking about a casting surprise, not the Easter egg they did, which they now did in the comics when they brought Kamala back to life.
Carol Danvers. She was in Miss Marvel too when she popped up at the end.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
So Loki had
Hulk,
the good review.
And She-Hulk, you got his son also.
We don't talk about that. We're
not going to talk about that. Listen,
no one wanted that.
Hulk. I want Scar, but that was not the way to bring him in.
Listen. I need Dominican Thanos with the do-rag and everything to hold his head and be like, bro, who fucked up your shit?
Dominican Thanos. That's so stupid.
Have you not seen those memes where he's like, bro, who fucked your shit up?
That is hilarious. Oh shit.
I don't know. Yeah, I think we're gonna get Hill. Maria Hill makes the most sense.
Yeah.
I think because I think they did Colby dirty. They were talking about all these articles and stuff about how oh man, they really messed her up. She was supposed to be like this whole thing. Maria Hill takes over S.H.I.E.L.D. in the comics. She takes over S.H.I.E.L.D. after Nick does his own thing, and we haven't really used her since.
Not unless we introduce what's the green-haired girl in the comic books who runs S.W.O.R.D., Beast's girlfriend.
That's a good one.
Because what if we introduce a new character who kind of does that and takes that over? Because we get Val, who also is brand new. Like, I think
it's too late in the series to kind of set up a new character unless they get an end credit scene to set them up for like a future project, because we're getting now the whole close of the chapter. Yeah,
technically, who's running S.W.O.R.D. or Saber, whatever it's called? Oh no, Saber is the other thing.
Fury's running Saber.
So no one's running S.H.I.E.L.D. or S.H.I.E.L.D. is completely like
S.H.I.E.L.D. done in the
S.H.I.E.L.D.'s
MCU.
done.
Yeah, S.H.I.E.L.D. was done after
S.H.I.E.L.D. got dismantled.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
and then they made S.W.O.R.D., and then they did S.W.O.R.D. and then.
But S.W.O.R.D. comes after Secret Invasion in the comic books.
And I think they're in.
No, we've had S.W.O.R.D. though.
Yeah, we did.
We've had S.W.O.R.D. We saw.
They established S.W.O.R.D.
in WandaVision.
Yeah.
Or even before that, but I know
they established S.W.O.R.D. in WandaVision.
It was a very lame mess. We didn't get checked out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also too. So when did you notice that the soldier who was helping Talos was Gravik? When did Fury notice? And I would say it was a smart guess from Fury.
Yeah. No, I think because none of them. He doesn't. I'm sure he knew none of them would have bothered to help him.
Yeah. Right. I think they would have kept their distance and been like, who's this like kind of dude? Because like for him to just pick him up and start handing him to Fury.
Yeah.
Calm that down.
Are we jumping to that now? Is there anything else we want to say about episode 4 before we jump into?
Let's see.
I mean, we kind of knew that Gaia was going to survive. We knew that she was, somehow she was going to survive.
Right. Yeah.
Getting the fucking Super Skrull stuff in her. We kind of we almost kind of were like, because didn't we mention like she was going to be the Super Skrull at some point?
No, I think what it was is that she used extremists because she knew she was going to get shot by Gravik. She knew she wasn't going to escape.
Viper doesn't do it. It's Abigail Brand.
Yeah, but
I'm sorry.
Gravik has multiple things in his body. That's why he's trying to get that. We learned this episode. Well, I think we learned it in the next episode.
He has Groot and Extremis.
Right we learned it in the next episode with what he's looking for.
Get blown off and then reheal when he takes when Fury shoots him.
That man's out there looking like 50 Cent.
That's Extremis.
Yeah.
Viper does show it. I think they're loose like ASAP. I think they're just loosely basing some of the stuff on the comics and they're using whoever they have like established right now to try to like put this all together.
I gotta tell you, man, Gravik is a good villain, man.
Yeah,
they've done a really good job. And that kid, the guy playing him, really.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to him too. He was in the Barbie movie.
Oh, was he? I haven't seen it.
I think he was also
he's in Night in Paris and he plays Malcolm X.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
he's a hell of an actor, man.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
He's a really good villain. I would hate for him to be fucking like one and done. It would make me so fucking bad.
Do you think he dies?
I wouldn't.
We know Marvel's track record. They get rid of villains left and right.
Their villains off.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that if they're building this character to be the Super Skrull, because it's technically
an attempt at Super Skrull, whether or not he's the Super
he's
Skrull.
a Super Skrull, not the Super Skrull.
Yeah.
True.
But it would be interesting to see him come back, like in the capacity of even with the Fantastic Four. Wait. Yeah, he's everywhere now.
So how do we feel about losing Talos at the end? Were we expecting that?
Poor one for him.
I was not. I like Ben, man. Ben Nicholson's a great
I love
actor.
He's a so much.
Me too.
I'm pissed.
So when I saw him get shot originally, he was starting to like get the president out. I was like, And then as soon as I saw McGravik, I was like, he's done. Like I knew it. I was like, there's no way that Gravik's gonna let this dude live.
Yeah.
Because there's not a world where I think Gravik and Talos can't Gravik feels like he can't coexist. While people still support Talos, whether or not they respect them or whatever, they're still gonna be like, yo, he was still trying to help. He was still trying to do his thing, whatever the case is. Mm-hmm. Then you see, like, listen, I don't know, man. It was such a.
Talos still carries some level of respect with their people.
Yes,
he does.
Absolutely.
He does.
I love that scene with him and Gaia on that bench, though, dude. Like the way she looked at him when he gave her plan, it was like she was like, "Really, Dad? Like that's all you fucking got? Like, you really think that they're just gonna give us this because you're gonna ask them nice?" And she says, "We're not nice people. Like we're not good people. Like you're crazy. Right. You think that I'm not. Like I'm not. I've changed, kind of thing." And I thought that was a really powerful scene. It almost. Like it was forewarned that he was going to die. And now, but my thing is, did he die? And that's the thing about this show. Do they die? Like, do you think he's gone?
I'm gonna be.
So you didn't see. Spoiler for this one. Priscilla brings him to the house. Yeah. To Nick's house, and they bury him, and they do like a scroll like ceremony and a whole prayer kind of thing, and like they basically like give him like a
so they went back for his body. I was pissed that Nick left him. That pissed me off. I'm like, bro, you just gonna leave him in the street like that? What are you doing?
You gotta understand, like Nick is out here like, yo,
I gotta get this president out of here.
The minute, because he knew the minute the president gets compromised, it's fucking over. It doesn't matter how many times he can save Talos.
Even though we know the president's going to get compromised.
Of course.
Because Thunderbolt Ross is the president in the Thunderbolts.
Right.
Yeah.
Spoiler warning.
Like we know Harrison Ford is the president, and we know we're gonna get Red Hulk. So what are we gonna do about this?
Yeah. I mean, so in episode 5, which again, sorry Vmac for the spoilers. We did get a great shootout scene with Gaia and Nick's. I don't know if it's his accent and everything. What's her face, Priscilla? That was a great scene. They were ready to bring it, and everybody was just paratrooping in there because when gravity.
That shit, bro. There was like backpack, fucking do the whole fucking chest armor, back arm. Yo, bro, beautiful.
Yeah, that was a good scene.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Hugo Vara. No, so it's like she was ready to bring the pain, and that's what they did, and it was like back to back, just taking people out.
I did see
it was
the
like,
beginning of it where Fury's trying to stay with the president, and Rhodey comes in and suns him again. So like, get the fuck out of here, bro.
I feel like Nick is letting Rhodey do this.
I think so
because
too.
Ultimately, like. What can Nick actually do when one, he's not Nick Fury of S.H.I.E.L.D. He has no government clearance. He only has his namesake to him right now,
which is valued. Bro, he got the whole Emmys under him. He's playing Pride. Nah, man, you let this son you, bro. Come on out.
Listen, you are outgunned. You are outgunned and outmatched right now. And if you start a shootout in a hospital, you're just gonna look more guilty.
You know what? You know what's interesting is that Grody or whatever. Scrody so far up their own ass. Do they still believe that Fury doesn't know they're a Skrull?
No, Scrody knows.
Yeah, I think that's this point. He gets it.
Scrody knows it.
Also, Gravik is supposed to be playing Bob Marley in the Bob Marley documentary.
Yeah, yes, we're going to hashtag baby. We're going to hashtag it. Here you go.
Scrody.
Oh, that's so bad.
That's why he gets to be a little bitch.
Yeah. Scrody is but is his character Rava when we see him as a Skrull, it looks like a female.
She is.
She is a female, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want my exposition dump. I'm sorry. Tomorrow morning, when I watch this, I need them to tell us what happened with Rhodey.
They don't.
That's I'm sorry. I thought we were gonna get the exposition dump
but I'm sure
table.
We will. I'm sure we will
with the Pappy
because
it's finally happening, and then it didn't, and I was like,
no, because what's the Armor Wars is coming, and he's the primary in Armor Wars, so I'm sure we will.
Yeah,
I think the Armor Wars they're gonna.
And
make
we
it
probably
a
will get
movie
some
now.
more backup of him coming back.
Yeah,
it is. I think that it was going to be a show.
Is it cut?
Is that shit done? Did they cancel that shit?
Nah, is
Oh,
it?
they're
No, I
gonna
don't
make
think
it.
it
They're
is.
gonna make it.
Because we're talking about like the strike.
It's a movie.
No,
right?
no,
It's gonna be
no.
a movie.
Not even the strike. Not even the strike. It's the before the strike happened, when the writer strike was still happening, but before the SAG strike. It's talking about how the fact that Iger made all his comments about like how they went all in on streaming and how people aren't like about going to see these Disney movies because whatever. And I don't know. In my head, my whole thing is like
he was trying.
I was like, first of all, I really like Iger as a CEO, but I was like, dude, like you got to read the room. These are bad comments. Two, when you're talking about people wanting to see your movies, that's false. Make better movies. Like the reason why I'm not seeing Indiana Jones is because the shit reviewed bad.
Yeah,
it was trash.
If Indiana Jones got the same reviews Barbie, Oppenheimer, and Mission Impossible got, every single fucking person would have saw Indiana Jones.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Make better movies.
Wait, Barbie got good reviews.
Barbie is
Barbie got
right now.
Barbie.
Did you just say fantastic?
I can't wait to see that
Barbie
shit. I'm
killed
excited
it.
to see it. Yes.
It
Yeah.
killed it this
Gives
week,
a
but
shit.
I think Barbie made the most money this weekend.
Yeah,
Barbie
but
made the most
160
money.
something.
And then Oppenheimer
was great. Mission Impossible I heard is really good. But like Barbie's great. Greta Gerwig's an incredible director and she writes incredible stuff. Like there's a lot of press behind it. What the messaging is, I'm excited to see it.
You know, there's so much.
And the hype because of Barbie and Oppenheimer and Barbenheimer, bro. You gotta understand that in and of itself, where they are fully aware. Barbie was from movie. They're fully aware those movies are coming out at the same time. The hype between both of them, and then they're like, yeah,
and they were super supportive of each other.
Like they're like, and then you have the fans showing up in like half this, half forget about it.
It was a day at the cinema where people were like if me and Jackie didn't have kids, it literally would have been us seeing both movies on the same day and making a day of it.
Right.
Because everyone was so supportive of both of them. Yeah. And so like I get it that Disney's had some of their misses, but like don't complain that people are comfortable, don't want to go to the movies. I just want to go to the movies for movies that are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I snuck in to see The Flash, and I'll do it again.
I'll do
it again. I paid for Transformers. That was worth the $30 for me and my son. It was worth it. It was fun. Like make better movies and we'll go to them.
Did you like The Flash?
Shit was garbage. It was hot garbage.
So
I don't think you were on the channel with us, but when that baby thing happened, my 8-year-old son was cracking up in the theater. He was laughing at the movie, not with the movie. He's like, what is he was so joyful.
Bear was like, what the hell is going on?
Like, what the hell's going on?
That was bad.
Yeah. So no, I had the pleasure of seeing Indiana Jones and could tell you wait for it to come on streaming and DVD. Don't even bother.
Hugo. Facts. I will pay money to see movies, but they got to be good. I'm sorry, like. Don't blame it on the streaming. Make the shit good.
So the Armor Wars was gonna be a show, and then they moved it. And now they're gonna make it a movie, right?
Well, this was before.
I would say keep it a show, man.
You're gonna keep it a show. We're just talking about like this whole move of Disney. Disney's pulling away from Star Wars and Marvel content because they realized they've oversaturated everybody with Star Wars and Marvel.
But this is.
So we're just joking. I don't know where Armor Wars is at. But
this was before everything, before Iger's comments. This was before they originally was going to do Armor Wars as a TV show.
And Ironheart.
But then they pulled back that they're going to do it as a movie. That Armor Wars, they feel like it was going to be better contained as a movie. This was way before all the stuff. This was I think it was announced last year.
No, Armor Wars was a TV show.
No, Armor Wars originally was going to be a TV show, but then they walked back. They had walked back on it and said that we're going to make that into a movie. And then Ironheart is going to be a TV show.
Flag on the play.
No, he's right.
Look, it was originally supposed to be a TV show.
It's always it was always gonna be a TV show.
Oh, they're gonna make it. They said that they're putting.
Let's go to the holy Google. Hold on.
I'm doing the same thing because
Armor Wars movie.
is an upcoming superhero film based on the Marvel comic storyline of the same name. The film is a sequel to Secret Invasion. It will be an installment of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It was originally going to be a show, yeah.
Still is a sequel to Secret Invasion.
Right.
Huh.
Yeah, but they're leaving
sounds like we ain't getting. Sounds like
That's
Scrody still has a job.
Scrody still got a job.
Scrody ain't. Wow.
Scrody got a job.
Scrody still Scrody. Does Secret Invasion? Does Armor Wars come out before the Thunderbolts or whatever the fucking?
I think it's gonna come out. It's supposed to probably come out before the Thunderbolts with its original slate because it was supposed to be a TV show at one point. But Secret Invasion is going to be a sequel for a lot of stuff. They're saying it's going to be a sequel for the Marvels. It's going to be a sequel for Armor Wars. So I mean prequel. Sorry, it's going to be a prequel for a lot of stuff. That's supposed to be coming out later. That's you know what I mean.
And
we're supposed to get
what's going to happen.
What?
Like that news came out back in September of 2022, bro. Like.
And we don't know how the writers strike and everything. Like again, we support the writers and the actors behind these movies.
Started in October or November, was expected to start, and then September of 2022, the series was redeveloped into a theatrical film.
Right.
That's when they decided to make it a film.
Back in September.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Summer's gonna be light.
Yeah,
summer's gonna be lights on TV and movies. Especially after The Rock. Especially after The Rock just donated mad money to a bunch of actors.
Ooh, congrats! That.
What happened?
The Rock put in like 7 figures towards to SAG to pay. I guess to pay actors or whoever who are going to be losing money out on during the strikes.
Really?
Because Saudi CEOs, including Iger, were saying like we were going to wait it out because we're going to wait for them just to lose their money.
The big ones, by the way, because A24 is still doing movies because they agreed to the terms of the union.
Okay.
So, and they're much a smaller studio, and yet they're still going to, and they also just ran the table at the Oscars, but they agreed to terms.
Is that Apple?
No. A24. They're the ones who did Everywhere.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Yeah, that one with Michelle Yeoh. Like they did that. They did. They're doing a bunch of different movies.
Yeah, they've done a lot. They've done a lot of movies.
So also, they're agreeing to the terms. Also, The Messiah on CW is continuing, so we'll have that.
Get the fuck? Are you serious?
Yeah, it's still in production. It did not get hit. The Messiah, the show about Jesus of Nazareth.
They canceled the fucking Gotham Knight series, which shouldn't have fucking came out in the first place. But yet, we're getting a Messiah show?
We talked about this. I
know. I forgot that was gonna be a thing.
Owners and the new owners.
They got rid of all their kids stuff, all their teen stuff, their teen dramas.
Really?
The new owners
Riverdale's
got rid of a lot of stuff.
They finished Riverdale's gonna be ending. I think
so. What is CW going to be doing now? Drama?
They're doing The Messiah. They're going to keep. They're going to keep Walker because that hits the demographic they're looking for.
Wow. I don't even know what that is.
It's a Texas. So it's a Texas-based company purchased the CW. That's what happened, and a lot of stuff that, I mean, I'm not going to get into politicals about it or anything like that, but a lot of stuff that they feel that don't fit the demographic that they're going for, they're just canceling. They kept Superman and Lois, which because they kept Superman and Lois. A lot of the other stuff got canceled. Riverdale's ending. So a lot of shows are just
Riverdale was still going on.
Yeah.
Was going on.
Shit.
It was.
Yeah. And then I think we were talking about this yesterday, George, about the article that came out with the guy from WB CEO who really cut a lot from the Flash movie, because apparently the original cut was supposed to be the one originally to help jumpstart the DC universe, because even James Gunn was liking that script, but the CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery did not want to pay certain things. The script went through so many rewrites.
I understand. I thought Flash was done before Gunn came in.
So Gunn got to read the script, That's what it said in the article. He got to read the script and he was signing off on it, but then there was all these changes that were happening because apparently what we were supposed to get was Ben Affleck's Batman lost in a multiverse of different Batman. We were supposed to get a spinoff where we were going to see Michael Keaton and Batman Beyond. These were things that they respect and that were going to happen that the script was supposed to do. But a lot of that script too was written with that original DC slate. And again, it's just showing how the CEOs went in, mushed it up, and James Gunn is getting the blunt of the blame for everything.
How do you always bring us back to DC?
How do you do this? We talked about CW and he took that and was like, "Now's my time."
I blame Hugo.
Saw an opening.
There goes
no
Hugo.
one
You said,
enjoys DC as much as you.
Batgirl. Yeah. See, Hugo, it was his fault. He said the Batgirl comment. That's what brought me back.
False. We were just talking about regular ass CW, and then you
help me out here.
He said regular ass CW,
and you decide to bring in this nonsense.
He saw an opening. He took it.
All right, listen, we were all confused about Armor Wars, and then that got settled.
Right. You were right. We all agree fine, even though
Almighty Google acknowledged the fact that Armor Wars is now a movie, which I still find questionable.
I'm with you, Tone.
Questionable.
But back to episode 5 of Secret Invasion, because we don't want to spend time on DC. Thank you. Go ahead, guys. Continue to spoil it.
I got a couple things we want to talk about other stuff. Like Invincible season 2.
I wanted to.
First of all, can I say something that's off the wall real quick? Just because I saw the trailer. But Mortal Kombat 1 is gonna have Homelander, Peacemaker, and freaking Omni-Man.
Also, J.K. Simmons is voicing Omni-Man in MK1.
My god, it's so freaking lit.
Speaking of Mortal Kombat, a new animated movie with Johnny Cage and like all his retro cheesy glory is coming out, and I can't fucking wait.
It's gonna be so lit.
It's gonna be great. It's Johnny Cage being the full on douche that we all love him to be, and it's gonna be so good.
And the boys are not stopping their game appearances because they're going to be Homelander, Black Noir, and Star.
They're in there now.
They're in the game now, Call of Duty, and you can actually take what's it called? What's the
serum?
The V. You can take it as one of the troopers in the game.
That's incredible.
So and the commercial drop for the spin-off series of The Boy, Gen V.
Gen V. That
trailer looked
bonkers.
Crazy.
Yeah. When does the Invincible is Invincible 2 out now?
No,
they got a trailer.
November, October.
It's November. We're getting 4 episodes in November. The next episodes will be in 2024. They're going to be weekly drops because allegedly Kirkman is a fan of weekly drops. I'm like, whatever, man, fuck you. And then, but what did release is a special episode about the origin of Adam Eve. So you can watch that on Prime right now.
Shit! I didn't think that came out yet.
Yeah, that came out once they announced it, and then we're getting a season 2, part 1, part 2, 23, 24. But they did say they are in voice recording for season 3, so the hiatus the wait should not be as long
as it is
for season 3. But I cannot wait for. We can talk about if you guys want to finish. We can finish Secret Wars, but I definitely want to talk about some of the stuff that came out.
So George, give us some of your thoughts on episode 5.
No, I thought I thought it was a good episode, man. I love the British woman. I can't remember her character's name.
Oh,
she's amazing.
Olivia
Coleman's amazing, and you get that from an Academy Award-winning actress.
Dude, every time she shows up, I'm smiling. Like just the way she delivers her lines and the way she is. Like I think it was in episode 4 where she shot the guy in the leg, right? Was that episode 4? Yeah, where she shoots him in the leg, and she's like, "No, look, he's bleeding." Well, in episode 5, she just continues her shenanigans. Like she's just ridiculously funny. Like she's really good. I really enjoy her on the show. And then obviously, we had that whole conversation with her and Nick Fury, and we find out that Nick Fury was responsible for it. I don't know the song Sonya had playing in the car, but I love When My Enemy Dies. Yeah, they get into the vehicle and she's knocking some hip hop. If you're
Really?
in the car.
Yeah.
He's like, we're doing this.
He was like, yo, we're doing this, and she was like, of course.
Yeah, we're doing this. Yeah, exactly. But she breaks down. Nick Fury basically tells her that during the battle at the very end of Infinity War, the very end, there was blood spilled on the ground, obviously, and he had people come and collect that blood. And what they call it, the harvest or whatever it is.
The harvest.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he admits that Gravik was in charge of that, and so they have all of this superhuman DNA somewhere, and they have that's what's they got to go find, and that's what Gravik is after, really, is that blood, because obviously he wants
to become like he wants to incorporate himself with that blood. Could you imagine?
Yeah. And in that whole scene, I mean, she asks him, she says, why don't you just get your friends, like your super friends, to come over and help us, basically?
Right. And stomp their asses out. That's it.
And his response, I did not, it sounded like Talos's plan. He basically said, nobody can save the world like I can. And I was like, I don't
It's because you don't want him. You don't want him to know I got your DNA.
I was like, I don't think that's correct. I don't think that's accurate, my bro. Like,
right.
Nobody can save the world.
We just
save us in Endgame, bro.
They'll be like, we just saved the universe.
Went out in the blip.
And all you thought about doing was collecting blood because of a contingency plan.
You couldn't stop it, and you had your beeper ready. Like, I don't know.
Hugo brings up a good point too. That was a beautiful scene too, where Fury again, you got to humanize him when he did make himself vulnerable. He tells her about like how he's been in love with this girl for this whole time. And again, thank you for bringing that up, Hugo, because that's a pivotal scene too. They had such a great scene together from when the minute that he gets in that car to like when he goes to like the grave. She asks him, how many of these you have? He's like, I have these all over the world, basically.
Yeah.
But the grave was like the safe that was housing the harvest, and that's where he had hid it. And then he goes into the mausoleum, same thing, and that's when you get the Nick Fury
the suit up that he gets,
the glow up, man.
But when he's in the car and he basically is explaining all of like, I've been with the Skrull and we were married, all this other stuff, and like I'm the one who basically trained Gravik and all this other stuff. It's one of those things where like us like how they like portrayed to her, where he's like, this is why I'm so invested in this, like this is why I need to be the one to do it, was so beautifully done that like again it just further humanizes Nick in a way that we haven't seen him like it this entire 15 years or whatever the case is that this has been going on.
I was watching, I forget what YouTube channel I was watching, and they made a point to say, like, at the end of Infinity War or whatever, he's standing away from everybody in that porch. He, like when they scan everybody, he's all by himself. And it's like at that point he had already given the order to go collect all that blood. Is that him just feeling guilty, standing away from all of them? Like I just, I'm basically collecting all these motherfuckers. Like,
I don't think that there's guilt in him in those scenarios. I think it's more about always being prepared and feeling like there's a contingency plan for the contingency plan.
I have to do this because
there's a reason kind of thing in his mind. I don't think Fury is ever driven by guilt.
But you know what? But to Lord's point, I think in that car you almost saw that, almost like that. I don't know, maybe not guilt, regret. I don't know if it's regret, but he definitely felt like it's my responsibility.
I hadn't seen that episode.
Yeah, you gotta check that out.
I don't think in his actions thus far there isn't a lot that I would associate Fury with guilt with. Other than there seems he's always calculating for me in my mind.
No, he definitely is that.
Yeah,
he's the calculator. No, but again, it's Hugo brings up another point. It's again with the whole thing why Finland, because the Skrulls loved the cold, and that's where they honeymooned. Again, it's out of that episode, you had a beautiful action scene. You get more Scrody with the president. You get the plan of what Gravik's trying to do. Then Gravik's throwing his people under the bus because then they're trying to do a whole coup against him because they're realizing he's going off the wall.
I thought in the beginning of that episode, I think his right hand questions why he didn't kill Nick.
Right.
And they question his leadership.
It starts to break down a lot because it's like, I believe you see it more in this episode. He's on a quest for power. It's not about the people, and they're starting to realize you don't care about us. And he's trying to now give Scrody the go ahead to have the president bomb New Scroll Hood. That's what I'm gonna call it.
New Scrollers.
Yeah, New Scrollers. We'll call it New Scroll Hood because they all in the hood. Yeah, they do more in question his leadership later on in that episode. I mean, he.
Oh, really?
And it's definitely after again spoiler when he kills his New Scroll City. Just play on New Jack City. Yep.
Is that episode 5 where he kind of hulks out almost like?
Yeah,
that was episode 5.
He hulked out.
Well, not. I mean, he just turns into like this soup. Like he becomes not a super scroll, but he goes into scroll mode and just starts.
He drops his precision. You see,
because they try to bag him up. They try to bag him. Like everybody just tries to fuck him up, and so they put a bag over his head. They try to really mess him up, and so he turns into like he goes Hulk mode. Like he turns into like a scroll and just starts beating shit out of them. Yeah, he Groots out.
I'm about to go watch that shit right now.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, no, it's a good episode.
Yeah,
like,
it's a really good episode.
Like I started it, but it's been a little bit crazy this last couple weeks. So
yeah. No,
it's same.
It's been like that for all of us. I get it. Trust me.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And talk about Killer
Alrighty, where are we at right now? Are we changing subjects?
I mean, we
only other thing that like I think we haven't talked about is one that little link that Seabass dropped in chat where Aquaman 2 is in chaos right now. The Legend of the White Dragon trailer that dropped, which is like that's Jason David Frank's like last movie, and it has fucking cameos galore. It's shot and it looks like a very cheesy 80s action flick with like better CGI, but like it doesn't look incredibly good. But I guess I'm sure it's gonna get a lot of hype because of
JDF.
Because of JDF. I'm very excited for Harley Quinn season 4 because that has been like consistently really good.
A consistently good show.
Yeah, absolutely.
They also announced too at San Diego Comic-Con that we're getting an Infinity Crisis animation.
Yeah. So we're getting an Infinity Crisis and we're getting
a Watchmen,
which
I'm curious as to what the DC animated movie for Watchmen is. It gonna be just the comic animated? Is that what they're gonna do?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Which I guess is fine because if you want to, read.
It's an animated movie.
Bring back the comic and do it again and give it everything it's supposed to be, because of the Zack Snyder movie and whatnot. I really hope they don't add on to it. I know some people weren't really big fans of like when Watchmen did the whole DC matchup and like all the stuff, and so we'll see. It'll be interesting to see what they do. I'll watch it though. I've always been a big fan of all Watchmen stuff.
Yeah, I like that show that they had on HBO. Was it on HBO?
That was
my god,
that was really good.
That was a really good show.
So good.
Yeah, that was really good.
That Watchmen TV show was so good.
Yeah,
that was fire.
Yeah, I couldn't believe they didn't renew it for like a second season. Like that shit was.
He didn't want to do it.
Yeah,
it wasn't that it wasn't renewed. He did not want to do it. He did it for the one season and was like, I've got this story from start to finish, and that's what I'm gonna do.
It's hard. Like, where do you pick up to go with a season 2 with that too? I mean, it's one of those shows that definitely did fit the mold of the miniseries. Like, it's like the other show, Lovecraft County.
No, that got screwed over.
No, it got screwed over, but I don't know where they would have gone with a season 2.
It was going to be an original. It was going to be an original. It was going to be original writing after that because the first season's based off the book, and they took some liberties, which were fine. And then they were trying to pitch a second season based off the success of the first season, but I think it was still really too close to the burn from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Of creating a new season of a same show without any based off a book, and now you're taking liberties and going full hog. versus taking creative liberties and changing some things up. And I felt they felt the ramifications of that, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I think because I don't know where you go after that. I really don't, because I really think that it was good from beginning to end, and the same thing with the Watchmen show. I really think it was good from beginning to end. I don't know where you would go with the season 2 with these shows.
I wouldn't be surprised. Lovecraft Country, like you do the same thing. You can still kind of keep to the whole. You keep to the racist America thing, but you don't use the same characters. You go to a different state because like there's a whole bunch of states. You know, shit, we can do Lovecraft Country in Florida 2023. But anyway.
Yeah.
Pew, pew, pew.
Oh man.
You know, but so like I don't know. But I think that was part of it. HBO wasn't taking any risks with anything with creating your own yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, no, I mean, then anything else you guys want? I know we're briefly going to jump into Invincible if we want to talk about that, or.
Well, Law did mention that the article that was shared about Aquaman, which I want to touch up on that briefly, is that Aquaman has already gone through 3 reshoots and has film scenes with Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton as Batman.
No, I thought Michael Keaton was done. They threw him a bag of money.
They're saying that they filmed the scenes, but now those scenes are dropped. Hasn't been testing well with audiences. And the fear is that this movie is going to bomb just as bad as The Flash. Like, it has not been DC's year. Like,
year?
It hasn't been there anything, man.
just universe, it, bro. It's universe.
Years. That's an understatement.
The minute BVS became a thing, I was saying, torch the whole thing. No, they wanted to build on that.
You know what kills me? Look, this is the last thing and it was. I remember when they were announcing BVS, literally a year after Man of Steel, and we're all like, "What the fuck?" But we had the general who ends up who is Martian Manhunter, and he goes on stage at Comic-Con. And he reads this line, I don't remember being an iconic line from The Dark Knight Returns. And then like no one reacts because no one knows what's going on. And then they announce BVS and then everyone reacts. I'm like, yo, why can't we just get Man of Steel 2?
Yeah. Well,
can we fucking get Brainiac in a movie?
Yeah,
like I don't understand why this is so hard.
So wait. So Tone, here's what's gonna get you mad is that so from the original slate they were supposed to do Man of Steel 2.
Yes, I know.
Cavill and Supergirl, who the one who got casted in The Flash, and we were going to get Brainiac.
I know they were supposed to. I don't understand. Brainiac is such a great villain. Let's cast a legitimate.
Do you really think they would do it well? I was disappointed. You might as well just settle for an animation and be happy with that.
Look, some people didn't. A lot of people didn't like Zack Snyder's take on Superman, but like I enjoyed Man of Steel, and I was here for a sequel. I was
here for Man of Steel until the fucking ending.
See the problem. I think the problem with
the snap heard around the world.
Yeah.
Yo, that's so. Oh my.
No, but I'm saying I think what. DC, the problem with DC at that time was that they were chasing Marvel. So like Civil War had just come out. Ooh, these are two things. Yeah, they're fighting each other. Okay, cool. We got Batman. We got Superman, right? Let's do that. BVS.
No, but they gave us Ben Affleck's Batman with no solo movie of his own.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because they were chasing. They were just chasing. They literally were. They were chasing. Like everyone was like, "Yo." Relax.
Build your own thing.
Batman.
People will watch
right now. The best thing they have going for them is the new animated Superman show, which I am absolutely.
Blue Beetle looks very good though. Blue Beetle
is absolutely good, which I'm glad for. Which is one of the only things I'm glad is getting grandfathered into the new thing. But I don't even trust the new thing because we've been asking for it for the longest time. We're like, yo, just adapt from the best adaptation in the world, which is the animated universe that Tim and Bruce did. Bruce and Paul did, right? Give us that. They gave us a great Justice League franchise. They gave us a great Batman show. They gave us a great fucking Superman show. That is the foundation you fucking build your house on. However, they're like, nah, we can do this. We can do this better than the fucking people who did it. What are you doing? Stop it. Stop that shit right now. And apparently that's what he's getting influenced by. I don't want to hear influence. I want to hear you fucking took that shit and was like, I'm going to take that and fucking put it on the big screen. No influence.
I believe Ben Affleck would have been fine. And that's because even though at first, and I will openly admit that when he was first casted as Batman, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, until I saw him as
up
Batman.
until I was still gonna watch it, but I was like, I don't get it. But I would have.
I actually like.
I would have been here for it.
I actually like him as Batman more than Chris. What's the one in
Christian
Dark
Bale?
Knight? Yes,
Christian
thank
Bale.
you. Mm-hmm.
I would have liked.
He's the best Bruce Wayne we've gotten live action.
Yeah,
I think one of the best.
But there's a lot of things where, yes, I like Ben for certain things, but they wrote him so wrong as Batman that like it got to the point where I just got more frustrated and I don't like him at all anymore.
That's
in Justice League, I would say is probably the worst
Ben's
way.
fault. Yeah, because that's
right.
Not Ben's fault.
I'm not blaming Ben, but I can't now say that he would have been the best Batman or Bruce that we had when Christian did it for me better because
I don't think Christian did a better job. I think what carried those movies were the villains.
Yeah. I think Christian did a better job because Bruce, from what Ben did, like especially in that Justice League
version, the whole movie.
So I don't give a fuck about the growling. I care about Ben Affleck going. We need to get the guy in blue, and we need to fucking.
That doesn't make sense. No. When I'm talking about Ben Affleck as Bruce, I'm literally talking about the opening scene in Metropolis because I thought that was the best. That's the best scene in the movie of BVS. I think it's just him, and you get his gripe with Superman. You get it. You visually see it. You see the destruction, and you get it. My problem, and agreeing with you, Law, and like how you didn't your gripe with Batman. My problem is that this Batman has went through so much shit. Yeah. He lost his Robin. He's older. Like all these things that happened to him.
There's so much they could have given us.
That jaded him. I get it. You want to have an older Batman, a more experienced Batman, but you don't let your Batman lose Robin, and we don't even talk about it.
Yeah.
So
we don't even talk about it. The suit's there with the crowbar. I'm like, what are we doing?
So here's the take, and this is just my take on the whole Batman thing. Is that first things first is that Bale did a good job as Batman in the first movie. The second movie, that was all Heath Ledger. He carried that movie, and I get what Val says. The villains held those movies because by the third movie, it kind of felt that Bale was kind of phoning it in a little bit because it just wasn't there.
I was lost at who you said. I thought you said Bill. I'm like, who the fuck is Bill?
Now, as far as Affleck shined as as Bruce Wayne. We got a little bit of his Batman of what we wanted in Batman versus Superman, but unfortunately he needed that solo movie. They should have led with the solo movie to give us that full Ben Affleck bad experience. Pattinson got it because Pattinson got the one Batman movie that featured the detective aspect, which again he got to shine as Batman.
I liked him as a young Batman. I did not like his Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, I didn't like
his sexy Bruce Val.
He's not sexy Bruce. He's emo Bruce.
But he's going to be. In the next movie, he has to be because he's like, yo, I can't just be this.
He has to be sexy Bruce. He wasn't.
He better be because I don't know what that was.
At the end of the movie, he was like, yo, I have to put on this persona of like it's a mask.
Actually, I think I had this conversation with you. This was part of our conversation yesterday, George. Was Batman versus Superman? I was like, listen, dude, this is how they could have saved the movie. Bizarro should have been the villain. Should have been the clone. Yo, no, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, and I will mute everybody till I finish this. Bizarro should have been the villain. Lex Luthor should have gotten the DNA from Superman to make Bizarro. Where Bizarro, you could have had him as a clone doing all these atrocities to get Batman to fight Superman.
Bizarro, I agree with you. Bizarro, they should have used Zod's body as Bizarro.
Yeah, they should have used it. They shouldn't have done Doomsday. That was just fucking Shrek and a bad Ninja Turtle. What they should have done too is that Jesse Eisenberg is Lex Luthor. I did not get it. It did not feel like Lex. I told George, I think who they should have casted
was not the Joker, the Riddler.
They should have casted, and you see him do it in The Boys. They should have casted Giancarlo Esposito as Lex Luthor, I would have been here for that because he would have hit a home run with that. So imagine him and Cavill.
Also, waste of Deathstroke, because Deathstroke could have been a fucking great villain for that too. Waste.
Yeah, Affleck. That's right.
He's
Gilbert
Affleck.
Affleck.
Jesus.
Yeah, but that's how I feel like Batman.
Done compared to the rest.
And to answer your question too, Val, was like with the whole thing, Batman versus Superman was supposed to come out the same weekend as
I remember
I asked the question.
I remember. No, I don't think you asked that, but I remember that chicken and Marvel said, "Come through.
Right.
We are not changing. We are coming out on Mother's Day, and if you want to come out on Mother's Day, let's fucking get Mother's Day weekend. I'm sorry, Mother's Day weekend. Civil War came out, and they were like, "BVS, I see you. I ain't crossing. Come at me, bro." And they were like, "Nah, wait.
Play chicken.
We ain't gonna do that.
Let's wait a little bit."
They played chicken and they clucked.
Yeah, because Marvel was like, we've been hitting home runs.
Yeah, at the time they were the shit. Like that was it.
They were hitting home runs.
Don't miss.
They were hitting home runs, and they were like, and we got motherfucking Spider-Man. Come at me, bro.
Right. Because that's yeah.
We loved Civil War. Nobody was complaining. It's not just like the comic books. Why people complaining about this show?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's too many entitled fucking nerds. That's it.
I mean, everyone's gonna have an opinion.
I think we all at this point. Here's the thing: at this point in our lives, we've seen Fox, Universal, Disney, and now take on all of the comic books that we know and love. Right? No one's done it like the comic books. No one.
No.
There's very little things that
you know who doesn't like the comic books? The goddamn animated movies.
There you
go.
Right.
That's different.
Perfect adaptations.
It's just I think the only thing closest to the comic books that we got, Shazam, maybe.
I don't know.
Not even.
I don't know. But I don't even know.
The Watchmen movie was pretty close.
I think certain comic books. I think certain comic books you need to do a 1-for-1 adaptation. In certain comic books, you need to take the theme and fit it to your mold.
Yeah.
Like Watchmen, I don't want to see nothing but Alan Moore's Watchmen. I don't want to see anything else. I don't give a shit. I don't want to hear your artistic take. You can be artistic with minute detailed changes of the costumes. Right. That's as far as you can get. I want lines from the comic in there. I want the same beats because it's so heavy, it's so thematic, and that's what you want to watch. Civil War, it's so specific. Obviously, we can't make that fit.
About Miss Marvel being killed off, brought back as a mutant.
We know your boy ain't happy because I saw his rant on Facebook.
Oh, Sean?
Yeah.
Boy?
I didn't get to see it.
He's pissed off because they just fucking killed her off, and now and then they bring her back.
Yeah.
In the comic books?
Yeah, because Miss Marvel died, and then they brought her back, and now Cyclops, I think, or Professor X tells her that she's a mutant.
So it's it's one of the dumbest.
Because they're trying to coincide with what the MCU's doing.
So originally the character was.
She was always supposed to be a mutant.
Yeah, supposed to be a mutant. It was just how they did it because they just killed her. Like literally, Miss Marvel died.
So the problem was that at the time, who was in charge of Marvel, they did this whole thing that you don't create any more new mutants, and then they were trying to push the Inhumans to be the replacement X-Men. So they made Miss Marvel.
They was
an Inhuman.
Fox. It was Fox, we're not giving you no more content.
No, that's fine. But I'm telling you though, Miss Marvel died in May.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
amazing! Wow, and they just brought her.
She just died.
So is Jonathan Hickman still doing the comic books right now? Are they still have their Island, Krakow, and all of that going on? Is that still happening in the comics? Does anybody know?
I don't know.
I stopped reading the comics because the comics got so. A lot of the comics got so confusing with all these reboots, all these major crossovers.
I feel like they are, but
got annoyed.
I wouldn't know.
No, I mean, in the last 4 or 5 years, Jonathan Hickman, they revamped it. Mutants come back. Now they're really doing. I think it happened right after Disney bought.
After Disney got
Marvel.
Fox, they relaunched because the X-Men before that they really destroyed the X-Men. They were like, we're gonna kill off Wolverine. We're gonna do this.
But they've been gone for a little bit, and a lot of characters were on other teams. But now, when they rebooted, when Jonathan came in and wrote it, it was freaking amazing. I was sticking to it for a while.
They got a fucking Kingpin taking fucking what is he like political refuge on the island now because he's married to some chick. My nephew told me a bunch of shit that's happening. He's also a huge Cyclops fan. He calls him Chris. He goes, Scott Jamal Summers. That boy. He was like, put respect on his name. I don't know. Apparently, Scott is that dude now.
He is.
So
didn't Scott stop giving a shit and like he's only caring about mutants?
I'm sorry.
I think Scott is like 100% that dude where he like
if you ain't about us.
He's like he basically sunned the shit out of people. So
yeah, he did us. He's like, yo, I'm that. G.
I think you also have Emma Frost marrying fucking Tony now.
Yeah,
because that's a thing. It's a whole. There's a whole lot of shit happening.
Anyway, Miss Marvel died in a Spider-Man comic, like a month ago.
Not even in her own comic,
right? Like a month and a half ago, and then they bring her back. And they resurrect her as a mutant, and like it's just kind of, and I get like
maybe
she's
she
gonna be
was
writing.
Always a mutant.
No. The problem isn't that she's always a mutant. It's the fact that she died a month ago, and then they just bring her back.
In the comic books, right? Well, I don't know about right now, but most recently when John Hickman, so mutants kind of made their own way of being immortal and rebirthing.
Yeah,
they're starting. Okay, never mind. Everybody's looking at me like I'm crazy, but
no.
I hear you.
I agree.
It makes sense. Like people die. Like they had sent a whole squad up to go kill the Sentinel.
But
they all die, come back, and they resurrect them the next day.
No. But like it wasn't like that. I'm not talking. It's not one of those kind of deaths.
Okay.
It was like Wolverine died death. Like it was a big deal. It got press. It was people were writing articles about it. Like it was a big deal. When Wolverine died,
I feel like that's one of those things where like they haven't finished the run.
And it was such a big deal, and everyone was talking about it. And then we knew he was going to come back, but it still took time. Homegirl just died. And comics come out every month now, right? Like anyone who reads comics, like these trade issues for Marvel, do they come out every month or every week?
Depends on the title,
right? So she died like 2 months ago, and now we bring her back.
How do they bring her back? Did they say?
I didn't read. I just know they brought her back.
They probably use the 5 lights.
They're probably the island.
Yeah, if she's come back as a mutant, they resurrected her. Then it was probably something they did on the island.
Yeah. So like it's fine. You want to make her mutant and bring it to the continuity that the MCU's doing because you always want to make her mutant. That's fine. No problems, whatever. Then you shouldn't have fucking killed her. Or like it shouldn't have been such a big deal.
Right.
Like it's going to be like we're going to Miss Marvel is going to become a mutant and then you go on that ride as she dies as an Inhuman and then like not like, oh, we're gonna make this big. Anyway, it's just crazy. It's just whatever. I'm happy. I believe Imani. I think that's the name of the actress.
She's right. She's gonna write, right?
She's gonna be writing, and she's involved, and she loves that character, so that's gonna be great. I just think the transition was kind of freaking sloppy. Is all.
Yeah, that could have been a better transition because you could have always been like the Terrigen Mist activated her latent mutant powers, that she was always a mutant. Because again, you could have still ran with the residual of House of M and Decimation M when Wanda turned off everybody's mutant powers. So you could have been like, yeah, the Terrigen Mist just reactivated her mutant powers. She was never Inhuman. She was always a mutant, in fact. Because again, no one's really talking about the Inhumans because it really, really flopped when they tried to make them X-Men 2.0. Like the show flopped, the comic series Uncanny Inhumans when they were trying that and all that. I mean, they really were trying to replace the X-Men and it just to no avail. And then they were murdering their X-Men characters. And I was like, dude, what are you doing? You're killing a franchise that stood on its own separate from your main Marvel universe for such a long time. But that was the pettiness of Marvel at the time. Of who was running it. He shall not be named. It's like Voldemort over there. So George,
Is next week just the finale of Secret Invasion that we're talking about?
So next week, what are we talking about? Next week, I got you guys. What are we talking about next week? So next week, we're actually talking about The Witcher Volume 2, and we can add Secret Invasion in there.
Witcher Volume 2?
It drops this week.
Yep.
When does it drop?
I
Tomorrow?
believe Wednesday or Thursday.
The 26th or the 28th, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's only 3 episodes, you know.
Yeah, it's only 3 episodes.
It's so dumb that we have to wait.
It's
and then we're never gonna watch that show again because
Alice.
Wait. Did you guys?
I would probably still watch.
George, tell me how you feel about this. I want to ask. Did you guys hear how they're gonna do the replacement? And I know Tone, you know.
Wait, how?
How they're replacing the actor?
Aren't they doing like a world shift or something with the spheres or some shit? Like, aren't they doing some multiverse shit?
Yeah, it's gonna be a multiverse version of Geralt.
Wow.
I mean, I'm gonna give it a fair shot
because they kept talking about like, oh yeah, you know, he's this book with the spheres. This book was made during the time of the spheres when. Like, okay. All right, Gail. Why don't you come out of District 12 and come out all over here?
District 12.
Apparently, yeah, it's nothing to do with.
You're getting your cold corpse from fucking the Expendables 2. We're gonna bring you back here and resuscitate you.
Wow. Poor Gail. I mean. Hemsworth kid. Poor Hemsworth kid. I can't even remember his first name.
Played by Miley Cyrus's ex. Coming to screens too used to.
That's crazy. I'm gonna give him
a fair shot. You know what I am excited for? The new season of Baki Hanma comes out tomorrow. I cannot wait to see the absolute violence of that man and his father. Holy shit.
Yeah, George, that's an anime. George Val, that's an anime you guys gotta see on Netflix.
You want to see absolute Black Air Force energy between characters at all times?
Baki is nuts,
bro.
Baki has no business being that.
What? It comes out on where? Where does it come out?
Have you seen the trailer to the One Piece trailer, live action?
Yes.
It
I'm actually thinking we should watch that because I think
we should.
I've never watched One Piece, but I'll actually watch that.
I agree with Law.
Okay, how about this?
Also, Dragon Prince, if you guys are watching, Dragon Prince dropped a new season. It's really good.
If it gets above a 90, can we watch it? We do it. If it gets above a 90.
Okay, out of what? Out of 100?
Yes, on Rotten Tomatoes.
Can we get a 60? I mean, let's be
60?
fair.
Damn.
Can we do 85?
I'll give you 85.
Okay, all right, I'll accept an 85.
I'll give you 85.
I would give a 60 because I want to watch it. I'm gonna give it a fair shot.
No. You can watch it on your own volition. I'm talking if we're gonna talk about it.
Okay, right. 85.
85.
85.
And I will be lenient.
Because we want it's the critic or the.
I will be lenient, either critic or fan.
Okay.
If either score gets above an 85, then we do it. I don't want to do it if it sucks. I don't. I don't give a shit about One Piece. So
I don't either. I didn't bother watching any. I mean, I have not watched it at all. But
if it's good, I'll do it.
The trailer makes it look enticing.
I gotta check this trailer out.
Yeah.
All right, so I think I would give it a fair shot.
So, we gotta send you a link of trailers, George.
Val, did you see the trailer for Invincible 2?
Yes.
Not all. I saw that it came out. I did not watch it yet.
So we are getting. I don't know if you saw my post in our chat, but my man Optimus is gonna be in the show.
Yes, I saw that.
As Thaddeus. He's gonna be fucking Thaddeus.
That's gonna be crazy.
My thing is, and George, I don't know, man. I hope we get Thrag, dude.
I know.
I hope we get Freddie Mercury. Freddie Mercury needs to show up, and just needs to show up and put some respect on his name, because Thrag is a problem.
It's gonna get violent.
Yes,
it's gonna get so violent.
I wish
for those of you guys who haven't read it, but it's gonna get crazy.
Val, you finished it, right?
I didn't finish. I got pretty far in it though.
And I know George, you read it.
Yeah, that book.
Oh my god, it's like one of my favorite comics. It's so fucking good.
It's so good. Dude.
It's like, so good.
It's ridiculously good. Like
Omni-Man's redemption arc.
I want to get into it, but I feel like it's such a daunting task, and I already
I
started
finished
so many.
It was so cool. I finished it.
They're quick reads.
Yeah, they
are.
No. It's a quick read. I would say like if like out of the comic TV shows you've been watching, like I know like you don't have to read The Boys, but like I would say read Invincible.
Invincible's worth the read.
I will say worth the read.
Remember that it came out at a different time, so you can see the significant difference of culturally where things are done.
The best friend,
certain things that are said, the girlfriend, and there's some changes in it.
That's comics in general.
From back when it came out to what it is now, I like the improvements they've made in the show, but there's significant difference in also how it plays out in the first season compared to the comic book.
How many comics do we have like that just don't hold up? Like they had to make changes.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying this was what, late 90s, early 2000s, right?
It was like this was like early 2000s.
Early 2000s. It's like it's 120 something issues.
Yeah,
but like
it's really good though.
But like once you get when you hear more about the Viltrumites, it's dude.
It's
like the show is great. I love the show. The comic book is better. Like I feel like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of those things. But books are always better than movies, right? Like I think that's the general consensus. But this comic book run was just ridiculous, man.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, man. I remember I'm reading it. I'm like, oh.
You couldn't wait to read the next one, right? It was like one of those things.
Yo, I was flying through it.
Yes.
I flew through I flew through The Boys. But because I remember because it was on Comixology and I got the first issue before I even watched it on Prime. I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna read it. And then when Omni-Man offs the Justice League, I was like, yo.
Everyone I tell, I'm like, watch the first episode. I know you don't watch cartoons, but just watch the first episode.
That's it.
And it just grabs everyone. And I'm like, y'all don't understand how good it is. Like, it was the same with Vox Machina recently when I was trying to get everybody to watch. I'm like, just watch this trailer. Yeah. Just watch this trailer. Just watch. Just give it a shot. It's just so good. And yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah, but like no, we're getting a bunch of voice actors. Oh my god,
it's like a who's who in voice acting. There was a lot of names. They dropped so many names.
We got the voice actor for Angstrom Levi. I can't remember. Hold up, I'll tell you who it is. Sterling K. Brown is going to be Angstrom Levi.
No shit.
So he'll be there for a while. Yeah.
You guys do this, and I don't know voice actor. Oh, okay, Sterling. Okay, yeah.
He was in.
He was the guard in Frozen 2.
Yes.
He was an adopted child in that Mandy Moore show. Not the Last of Us.
Not the Last
of Us. This Is Us.
This is us.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. He's also the uncle. He's Killmonger's daddy.
Yeah,
Killmonger's dad.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
He's a vampire hunter. He's in a lot of things.
He's really good.
He's a really good fucking actor.
He's great. No, he is.
Those are guys. So so we're coming on next week. We're going to be talking about Witcher. May finish up with the last
Secret
episode
Invasion
2 of Secret Invasion as well.
We have to finish up last Secret Invasion episode 2.
We may have the Mighty Pong on that episode to talk about Secret Invasion and also Google.
Really quick. I'm reading Demon Slayer. Just so you're aware.
Ooh, I'm gonna hop on that gravy train very soon.
I'm at the Red Light District arc. It's not the Entertainment District arc. It is the Red Light District arc.
So did you pick up from the beginning, or did you pick up where the show was leaving off?
I picked up from the beginning, and I got through season 1, and then I flew through Mugen Train. Okay. And now I'm in Red Light District. So
okay.
George, that's another good anime you gotta watch.
It's a
Demon Slayer.
Do any of you guys watch Vinland Saga? Because I'm gonna check that out. Because I'm here.
Oh, Vinland Saga. Vinland Saga. I've heard really good things, but I just
and everyone's like talking about.
I wish I had all this time. You know, like I was on. I wish sometimes you know being
honestly the only reason why I'm entertaining it is because it's in the same breath as Berserk, and I'm like, oh, you got me. I'm interested. I'm interested. So
I just recently finished reading the prequel to Hunger Games.
How is that?
It's interesting. It's an interesting take. I didn't think it was a bad book at all. It shows it's basically Snow and in the 10th Hunger Games, certain things that were implemented at the time and what changed and how they grew to what they were when we see it in the Hunger Games. So it was a very interesting backstory to seeing Snow as a kid.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Interesting. I thought the book was good.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's been a fun episode. We got a lot of stuff. We're going to give you a lot of each other recommendations in the background. But you guys can catch us next week on Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to talk about a little bit of the Witcher.
Hold on, I just want to address Hugo's comment. Does it feel like liking Snow for most of the story? Yes. I'm surprised how much I actually cared for the character up until a certain point where when you think he's on a certain route and then you realize, oh, okay, I see who he really is.
We already knew who he really was. It's just we they got to write that like, yeah, we like him, and then now we got to write the point of why we hate him. Fuck that guy. That's it.
Do we hate him? I mean, I actually don't hate him now.
Oh, fuck Snow.
There's a reason.
Snow. The thing with Snow, you knew what Snow was about. Coin sucked.
Coin was the real because I think at the end of Hunger Games in the trilogy,
right? Going down another rabbit hole as we always do every time we try to rap.
This is the Puerto Rican.
You know what? This isn't the first time we've had a Hunger Games rabbit hole though. Like,
word.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Okay. I'll stop.
We got our rabbit hole.
We'll pin that one.
For me,
not that. It's one of the few books I know Seabass has read and knows. Like, it's the pop culture stuff.
Yeah.
So like.
Fuck Snow. This has been your boy Sebastian.
It's your boy Law.
Your boy Tone from across the hall.
And of course, last but not least, Vmac.
And make sure you guys are going to George's website, getyourmeds.com. Link is in the description. And get that subscription to Russ. George, what was that code they can enter in again?
Oh, podcast.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Capitalize.
All caps. Podcast.
That's
15% off.
Get you guys next week. Catch you on the flip side.
Wait, George, really quick. If they send you a picture of them doing like, the champion.
The discount double check.
The discount double check. Do they get like 75% off?
Yeah. Another Aaron Rodgers joke for those people track.
So we've been holding on to that joke like all episode.
He's been waiting.
I mean, it'll be interesting. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's gonna be fun. I can't wait.
I may actually watch a Jets game aside from the one when they lose to the New England. But anyway,
wow. Wrap it up.